tiny candles here. Market getting pretty high. Q's all-time high today. SPY all-time high today. IWM has not reached the all-time high, but Q's and the SPY both have. Again, I took a call debit spread in snow, a 185, 187.50, expiring Friday. I like app as well, but I haven't taken anything in app. NBIS still looks pretty nice here. Palantir, which we have pulled back this morning, starting to find a bottom here. See if we go back up again. Hot looking pretty nice. Starting to pull back a little bit, but had a nice move up this morning. IONQ looks decent, and FTNT has just moved up pretty nicely today. So pretty, not a very exciting market here. This is it's bullish, but it's just kind of drifting right now. So I'm looking for some entries, but these are really tiny candles. Looking for some entries on the Qs or the SPY. Isaac, can I explain how I get the sell price on my FTNT position? Well, you know, the sell prices are tend to be subjective, all right? But I'll show you what I was looking at. I'm looking at FTNT now. FTNT, we have the $90 calls, all right, expiring January 17th. $90 calls, paid about $6.70 for them. There we go. So we get the $90 calls. So right now it's trading at 97.60. So we basically we have intrinsic value of $7.60, which is just about what we paid for it. So what I'm looking at is to get it to $9.65. It would need to go up to probably, obviously it's going to have to go to $99 and it wouldn't have to go to $99.65, but you got 99 and some change. So what I'm looking at is to try to set a level somewhere below this $105 level right here. I mean this $100 level. So I'm looking for it to get up, move up toward that $100 level, and get out. So if it gets up to around 100, then anywhere close in this area will have enough to take profits. That's what I'm using. I'm keying off of this resistance level right there to try to pick a price. Now it's pretty arbitrary what I pick on a price and something like that. But again, I think that's a reasonably reasonably good level to try to hit, and we've still got quite a bit of time, so we're not going to get a whole lot of time decay. Now, if another week goes by and we haven't gotten there, we might have to reevaluate it. Hopefully that makes sense. Welcome to the YouTube folks watching. Again, this is my software right here. This is called the Compass system or the SPY Super system. These indicators right here are the key ones I use. This tells us whether institutions are in the trade or not. This is multi-time frame momentum. This is current time frame momentum. This is long-term trend, and this is a derivation of money flow. These are the two that I use: multi-time frame momentum and current time frame momentum. These are the key ones for me. On our quick trades, what we call the SPY Super System methodology trades, where we're trading the Qs, the SPYs, and the IWM, this is the only one we use. We use this index, and we use the VWAP right here, this pink line, and this green line. Either one of those as a support or resistance level. Like on the Qs right here, this was a break right here. You just notice it was all green. It broke above the VWAP. Anywhere in here you could have taken the trade, but it didn't move much. I mean, it's just moving slowly up. I took it for about 25 cents, but some folks get in here. But that's the SPY Super System. As long as this is green or blue, then it can go long. And this is the index I'm working with right now. Now the SPY is also a potential one today. Again, buying right here. You can see the current time frame momentum's green, telling us institutions are buying it right here, and just kind of sliding along the 15. But you don't want to be buying this, getting in. You want to be getting in right at the support or resistance, right at the 15 or right at the VWAP, right like there. Right, and then if it breaks and closes below your support level, then you get out and take a small loss. But on the longer term ones, I'm using I go to the daily chart for stock that we're in, like we're in Fortinet long. The key on that is any kind of a swing type trade. We go to the daily chart. We look and see what the daily chart looks like. You notice it's all green here. Current time frame momentum, multi-time frame momentum, all green. Institutions are buying. We get a long compression here. It's trying to break out. This is where we took this trade, Fortinet. And I also use TC2000, which is this chart right here on Fortinet. This is the daily chart on Fortinet. You can see I got some horizontal resistance lines here and support lines. But this is a nice chart on Fortinet. See this big bull flag, big volume, big bull flag. Stock moves up, pulls back toward the 8. This white line is the 8 exponential moving average. It pulls down to it. It breaks above this line that I drew right here. This is called an algo line. As it broke above that, we took it right there, and we're riding it and trying to make a couple $100 a contract on that. All right, so just kind of set you up with what we're looking at over here on this piece of software. This software, it can be purchased and put on your Thinkorswim platform. You don't have to trade off of Thinkorswim to have this. I don't trade off of Thinkorswim, but I use this for my indicators. So, just wondering, with my long experience, longer than I'd like to think, how long has it been since you've seen a market rally like this? Like it has been this year? You remember breaking 500 spot was a big deal earlier. Yeah, I mean, this is a decent run. I mean, it's not spectacular. I mean, it's if you look at the SPY this year, we take a look at the daily chart on the SPY. You know, this rally really started back in November of last year, way back here, and it moved up pretty nicely. So that was a pretty nice rally from November through May. Then we chopped around, then we had another nice little rally, and then we pulled back pretty hard in August, almost down to the 200-day moving average, and moved up. Now it's been chopping. Now this is the rally we're getting here, with another pullback to the 50, and another. So this is just a you know, I consider it a fairly normal bull market right now. I mean, you're getting your pullbacks, you're getting the moves up. We're setting new all-time highs, but you know, the market sets all-time highs anytime it's in any kind of an uptrend. So I don't go too much about that. But this has been a decent rally. But there's been an awful lot of chop on this thing and a lot of pullbacks. This is a pretty heavy pullback right here when it pulls back down below the 15. I use this 8 and the 15 as really important levels for me, because the SPY, a lot of times when it'll come back down through the 8, but it'll support on the 15, just like it did here. See, it comes back here, supports on the 15. Drop down here to the 50. This was a pretty substantial drop last November, and then a big gap up. I'm sorry, this was the gap up on the election. We had a pretty big pullback before the election. Big move up, gets a little extended from the 8, so then it starts to come back again. But notice how it hangs right around this 15. So I like using those two levels to support it. But yeah, it's a decent bull market. I mean, it's not extraordinary. It's not extraordinary. I've been through a lot of markets, good and bad. You know, when COVID came, that was a pretty brutal market. But in the trading that we do, Here, we trade long, short markets. It doesn't make any difference to me. My results month to month don't really change much different from bull markets to bear markets. But the results are better if we have trending markets on an intraday basis. But whether we have a bear market or a bull market, my monthly results are very similar. 85 to 90% doesn't make any difference if the market's bullish or bearish. We're just taking the very high probability stocks, and if the market's in a bearish trend of moving down, then we're gonna lean on shorts more than longs, and when it's moving up, we lean on longs more than shorts. Yeah, it's true when the market's moving up like this. The thing is, it always seems like it's easier to make money in a bull market, in a bear market for a lot of traders. But the fallacy of that is it's because most traders only trade long. They don't really trade short, and it's a problem for them because they have a strategy that they use and they trade the market long, which works great when you're in a bull market. But when it starts to get choppy or starts to go into a bear market, what they do is they try to continue to force that same strategy. They don't adjust, and this is where they get killed because they can't understand what happened. This worked for all this amount of time. Now it doesn't work anymore. What's wrong with it? They have no backup plans. They don't have any alternative strategies to take in bear markets, and it wipes out a lot of traders. Just really does. You've got to be able to adjust to the market. The market is the most critical thing that you've got to be aware of. That's why I'm looking at the SPYs and the Qs and everything all day long, because it has such a major impact on what we're going to do, what trades we're going to take, how long we're going to stay in the trades. Do we take quick profits or do we try to stay in them for a while? All of that's dependent on the market, so you always have to be aware of that. Most traders just cannot adjust. I mean, back in 2008 when the market collapsed, I mean, it was a wipeout, but for me, it was tremendous trading, because I mean, we just went short. I mean, it was pretty easy trading. When you have a bear market, they don't last as long. They're shorter term type trades, but you can make really good money on them because stocks, when they start to move down, they typically go down a lot faster than they go up. But then they can recover quickly. So again, it's just a matter of having strategies that you can use on any particular market conditions, and adjust to the market conditions and trade those strategies. All right, so again, here's the Qs moving sideways. Again, I took a call Deborah spread in snow, 185 to 187.50 Friday. We'll see what that does. That's true, so yeah. Every buy and hold investor thinks they're a genius when the market rallies. Relative strength, relative weakness is very critical. I mean, it's one of our key components here. We use relative strength and relative weakness, as well as the daily chart is our key. If we're taking a swing trade, or even an intraday trade that's going to be fairly long intraday trade, the daily chart is your key. You've got to be trading off the daily chart. If you're trading long when you've got a bearish daily chart, you've got no ability to stay in the trade. You can't hold it overnight. It's just foolish to trade against the daily chart. And then the compass system, or the SPY super system we've got here, this is what tells us whether the institutions are in, and I'm not going to be in any trades that the institutions aren't in. I mean, I'm just not going to do it. I want to trade with the institutions. I don't want to trade against them. And if they're not in the trade at all, I don't want to be out there trading against other retail traders, because they just cause chop and chaos in the market without the institutions in it. So that's critical. And then I trade relative strength and relative weakness, and basically try to be patient and disciplined. That's how you make consistent profits in the market. All right, what else have we got here? Some questions. Isaac. If you haven't seen the 1999 bull market, you have not seen a real bull market. Yeah, that was a very speculative market too. That was the dot-com era, and the dot-com era was anybody who put a dot-com next to their name was rallying, and the market it went crazy on it. And of course, it was a bubble. I mean, listen, just because a company says it's .com doesn't mean it's making any money, and they weren't. They paid the price in the end. Terry, would I take another setup on the Qs? Are we too close to the high of the day? No, I don't. I don't consider the high of the day that big a deal right now. If it was a big move up and then a sharp pullback like an inverted hammer or shooting star, then I'd be more concerned. This is pretty stable price action right now. But I mean, there's the setups. There's nothing here. The candlesticks are too small. And you got yellow here on the current time frame momentum. On snow, if you look at SPY, looks pretty good. Triple Qs, yeah, I wouldn't be concerned about the high here, but this is very weak candles. You need to find some sort of decent sized candle to offset this right now, to break out. And we get yellow on the current time frame momentum, so this is a no trade for me right now. I guess kind of watch it. Netflix looks decent, but it's pulling back. We're getting a lot of compression in the market right now. So again, I'm just watching Palantir pull down, and now it's just moving sideways. And again, I do have snow on. And again, need to get this thing through 185. Need to get up into the 186, 186.50 area. Random barbarian. Hey, can I show you the Dominator as well? I don't have the Dominator up and running. I actually don't use it. It's pretty good for market internals, but I use something else on TC2000 for that. The Dominator is pretty nice, but I don't use it. I used to use it. It just did too much. It was taking up too much computing power, and I didn't use it. I mean, I had it up there, but I didn't use it very often, so I don't bring it up anymore. I still have it, but I don't use it. Looking at the T2104 on the TC2000. This is a market internals that I use. You can see that it's just chopped today. Yesterday was bearish in the morning, bullish in the afternoon, just chopped. Sometimes I'll use this on like on a day like this where it's pulling down. I'll take some puts on the SPYs or the Qs overnight. But right now, this is just chopping around. But no, I don't use the dominator. It takes it. You need to use a kinetic feed on it, and it runs on Ninja, which is basically a nice platform for trading futures. But I don't. I've got so much stuff running up here right now that if I add Ninja and I add the dominator, I just got too much stuff to trade off, and I didn't feel like it gave me an extra edge over using the compass here, the SPY Super System. Is NVIDIA right here, which is kind of like a pullback opportunity right now. This was earnings right here, chopped around after earnings, pull back to the 50, pull back to this algo line that I had drawn right there. This was an algo line that I draw to mimic what the institutions use for algo lines, and bounced off of it perfectly, and then is moving up. And so it's kind of a PBO. It's a pullback opportunity. It's turning around to the upside. You've got the 8 exponential moving average, which has gone from red bearish to white bullish. So that's a decent setup on now on NVIDIA. There's workday P-Core, which is pretty nice. Here's P-Core's got some room. Again, this is coming out of a breakout. Got room to $90.79. I haven't really looked at the options on it yet, but this is a pretty nice setup right here for P-Core. This wouldn't be a bad intraday trade. You can see that it's just kind of, no matter what the market does here, it just keeps marching higher. It's got good, decent relative strength. Taiwan Semi also coming up. So some of the semiconductor stocks are doing pretty nicely. This is really choppy. Overall, it's a fairly choppy stock. You notice you get a lot of gaps, a lot of wicks and tails on the candlesticks. So I'm just going through some and looking to see what's there. There's pins with a breakout above the 50-day moving average, above the 100-day moving average right here, breaking out. So that's a little breakout into this gap. See the gap right here? So it's in the gap with room up to this top, the gap fill, which is right here, about 33.92. And then ASN, another tech company, trying to break out. It needs to close above this 1576 for it to be a decent stock, but it's got earnings today, 12.5. Tomorrow, so I can't touch it. Can't touch anything with earnings tomorrow. And there's Hood. We've talked about this a couple times today. It does have relative strength to the market today. That's what I'm doing. I'm just going through stocks, looking for something that could be potential. Just put them in a watch list and then see what happens. This market is dead right now. It's just moving sideways. I'm going to have some noise going on here for a little bit, so I'm going to shut off the mic. I'll be back in just a couple minutes. As soon as I get a little break in the noise, I'll be right back. Got a lot of noise going on right in the house right now. That's why I got some workers in here. So I got to wait a little while before I can turn the mic back on, just so you know. I'm still here watching, but I can't really keep the mic on at the moment. Yeah, AJ, you can't hear me clearly. There's a lot of ambient noise in the house right now. So I've got the mic turned off. Um, Shy just took calls in NVIDIA, also with Snow with calls and D-Dog with calls, Shop with calls. These are a lot of these PBOs that are breaking, trading nicely. Shop's pulling back right now, but it's had a nice day today. Again, I got to turn off the mic for a bit. Alright, should be calming down a little bit here. Still may be some noise, but again, this is a pretty slow market here. You can see how small these candles are. SPY is pretty much moving sideways. It's new all-time high, 606.50. Triple Qs. Also just moving sideways here. I can't take any SPY super system trades with these kind of candles. There's just no size to these things at all. Everything just moving sideways. Snow popped up a little bit. It's pulling back. It's trading pretty close to the 185. Again, we got a couple days on this one. Fortinet's looking pretty good. Fortinet's moving up here. We're getting pretty close to taking profits in Fortinet. I don't know if we'll get them today or not, but right now Fortinet's trading at 935 by 950, and again I've got a 965 in there. Palantir's pulled back today, just kind of found a bottom, just moving sideways right now. But Fortinet's still moving up here, so we'll see if we can get the 965 in Fortinet today. It's possible. I mean, this is a pretty nice little move up in Fortinet. Alright, all the noise is over here now, so we can see what the market's doing, which isn't much. Fortinet's trying to creep up toward getting us filled, so we'll see what happens. SPY here, just compressing, just above the VWAP. Qs just compressing. There's a little pop in the Qs. These candles are so small, just so small. We are going red to blue here, but we need to see it's right at the 15. We need to see something more than this candle sizes. These things are so small. Right back to the VWAP popping up. These are very small moves. Snow just kind of moving sideways right now. It took a little bit of a pop. Palantir coming back a little bit. All right, about 12 o'clock here. Again, just kind of watching the Qs, trying to come out of this dynamic compression zone where it's the shaded area. Then it's also giving us a pop out of the box coming out of compression. But these are small candles. I mean, this is a SPY super system setup. If this candle closes, if this closes blue, but the momentum has been just so terrible, just tiny. But I mean, it's so close to the 15 that you can take a trade on it because your downside is fairly limited here. If it closes below the 15, you get out. I took up some calls on the Qs right here off a SPY super system trade. Again, this candle hasn't even closed yet, but again, it's so close to the 15 EMA that a breakdown here. I'll probably give it the VWAP as a support level, and I'll give it that much space. But we are getting a pop out of the box, and we are getting blue here, but we'd like to see it a little bit more dynamic than this. Again, I took some Q calls off of this pop out of the box right here. and coming off the VWAP, but it's coming off the 15 is what I'm trading it off of here. And we've got a current time frame momentum gone to blue, so we've got rising momentum on the current time frame. So just a SPY super system trade. And again, I'm watching FTNT, trading up to 9807, getting close to our take profits target on FTNT. Right now it's trading at 940. We got a 965 in there. So it's probably trading, the spread is probably bigger than that. The spread on Fortinet is 935 by 950. Again, we've got a 965. So we need a little bit more of a move in Fortinet, probably up to about 98.25 or so would get us filled on that. Snow not doing much of anything here, just moving sideways. And again, triple Qs. It's a bullish setup. It's just not the momentum is not great. But I am in the Qs. I am in the Q super system right here, right off of this candlestick. I took today's 520 calls. Paid 202 for them, which is about what they're at right now. It's a little after 12 o'clock. After this, if I take any more SPY super system trades today, after I close this one, I'll go with tomorrow's expiration. I don't want to have suffer time decay on any kind of compression. We're getting a lot of compression today. You notice the candles aren't very big, so I'm just seeing if we can get it moving the Qs here. NVIDIA is turning into a nice little trade here too. It was a PBO pullback right to the 50, right to an algo line, bounced up above the 8 and 15 today, and a nice setup on NVIDIA. Q's just slowly dragging along here. Probably should have gone with tomorrow's expiration date, but I have today's. All right, see what we got. Any more questions? Oh, so far so good. Choppy market, very choppy. IWM is obviously the weakest one right now. Even though it's up for the day, it's the weakest price action right now. Moving down below the VWAP. Q's just holding the 15. I'll probably just try to peel off small. If I can get a small profit on this, I'll probably take it. This is really pretty boring action. Pretty slow. Yeah, not much to say here. I'll try to take a little profit in Qs if I get a little bit of a bounce here. It's pretty lackluster day right now. This is just moving tiny candles. Fortinet getting getting a wider spread right now. Claims it's going for 520, but they've got the spread at 890 by 950. They just lowered the strike price on the thing. I mean, lower the bid price on it from about 930 down to 905 now. So that's why the midpoint is showing lower, but it's trading 920 by 950. Again, we need about a 20-cent move in this thing to, I'd say about 98.25 in Fortinet would get us out for a nice profit. And I'm just watching the triple Qs as I have calls on that. Not really doing much though. Can't really expect it to today. So far the day's been pretty slow. T2104 is a little bit bearish right now. Pretty flat, but just a bit bearish. Again, this is an LPTE today, low probability trading environment. Just nothing much moving. There are some decent stocks out there. NVIDIA looks pretty nice. NVIDIA looks really nice on a nice bounce. Wood looks pretty good. Again, they got a conference today. Gapped up, pulled back. Now it's back up to about close to the high for the day. Again, just watching Fortinet. See if we get close at it. I'm watching the Qs as I'm in a SPY super system trade on the Qs right now. What do I have for the next resistance on NVIDIA? $147.56. 147.56 shy. And then after that, 152.89. Qs trying to move up a little bit here. Again, I'm going to probably take some small profits in Qs if I can. I'm not going to try to. It's just not much momentum here. I mean, we've got decent momentum, but the price action is pretty. The candlesticks are pretty weak. So I'll take it off with some profits if I can. I'm in the green right now. I'm up money on it, but not much. I was trying to get about 30 cents. That's not going to happen, I don't think. Again, I'm also watching Fortinet, one of our long positions. That's getting very close to being taking profits in it. It's trading at 9.55 right now. 9.55 on Fortinet. Basically 9.50 by 9.60. So again, as I said, I think we need a move to about 98.20, 98.25 in Fortinet. Triple Q's is creeping up. Coming up at about 12:17. I'm gonna have lunch here in about 15 minutes. I'll probably take the Q's off before then. This is really, really slow action. Really, really slow. Watching Fortinet, see if we can get there. Going up a few pennies at a time. $9.60 right now in Fortinet. $9.60. Midpoint. So yeah, about another, like I said, about another 8 to 10 cents on Fortinet, and we'll get filled on this. Probably not even that much at this point. I was estimating 98.25. All right, Fortinet just filled at 9.65 in Fortinet. So that is closed at a nice little profit. We may actually re-enter this one later. It's really a nice setup on Fortinet. A nice daily chart on FTNT. And it's still got room up to about $100.59, which isn't much. It's only about $2 on it, so that's why I took this thing off. Anyway, so we sold it, Fortinet, for $9.65, and we'll take that profits. Got a $1 profit on that one. I'll go ahead and alert that. Okay, so we're out of Fortinet. Still moving up. It might still go a little bit higher, but again, I set what I thought was a reasonable take profit target on this one. And we put that one on last week, and been in it about a week or so. That was a pretty nice little trade there in Fortinet. Again, I'm still in the queues, actually creeping up. It's $2. $2? Oh. Oh yeah. Sorry about that. My math skills. $2 profit. Even better. Much better. Thanks for pointing that out to me. Checking my math. As the queue's pulling down, I'm going to have to bail on this thing. Again, I won't bail on it until the candle closes. And again, out of Fortinet for a nice $2 profit. So $200 a contract on the Fortinet was pretty nice. There's Q's with quite a nice hammer right there. Again, I didn't get out of the trade because I was waiting for the candle to close. So by holding off on that protected me. Actually puts me back into profits on it. Moving up nicely here now. Again, out of Fortinet, 965. In the snow call debit spread, paid 90 cents for that, $90. Trading at 96 right now, just up a little bit. Nice little bounce in the Qs with that nice little hammer right there. I don't know if the SPY did the same type of thing or not. Yeah, same thing, same hammer on the SPY. IWM, not so much. Triple Qs, looking pretty good now, the triple Qs. Again, I get in at 202 on the 520 calls. They're trading at 212 right now, so I'm up a dime. Not a big deal, but at least it's a profit. Alright, so I'm out of the queues. Took my minuscule 10-cent profit on the thing, and I'm going to get some lunch. That's the main reason I'm pulling the plug on the thing. But I'm out of the queues for profit. The hammer came with good volume. Yeah, you know, it's kind of a one-off here. The SPY's been really choppy. Q's been choppy. All the indexes had some volume on that particular candle. But you know, whether that's indicative of anything that's going to happen, I'm going to have lunch. I'll tell you that. That's what's going to happen. And then I'm going to come back and take a look at it again and see if I can get another entry in it today. So you know, this is yeah, it's moving up pretty nicely right now. Again, I could have stayed in a little bit longer. It's trading at 222. It could have made. I'd be up 20 cents instead of a dime, but that's okay. Again, we're out of Fortinet. Took profits in Fortinet. Q's still going. Kind of the best move we've had there today. It's coming off of that 15 again, right off of the 15. This was the entry, right there. As it went to blue, this is the entry, and this is the move you got. It's not a huge thing, but it's, you know, it's good for 20 cents, 24 cents right now. So I probably could have got my original 30 had I stayed in the trade. This is a decent move in Q's considering what the day's been like. But again, you know, I don't know if it's going to keep going or not. Anyway, I'm out of it, and I just took a dime profit. I could have got close to 30 cents. Right now, it's just up a dime again, so that's not bad. I'm out of that. I'm gonna go ahead and just check with YouTube, see if we've got any more questions out there. Otherwise, I'm going to stop the YouTube feed. It's been going for about an hour and 20 minutes. Appreciate everybody on YouTube watching my trading room right here. I did trade a SPY Super System trade right here on the Qs as the current time frame momentum went from bearish, red, to bullish, blue, and the stock, it was breaking above the 15 EMA, this little thin green line. That's where I took the trade. I just made a dime. I would have made about 28 cents if I just rode it all the way up to the top of this candle, but I didn't. And I'm getting ready to have some lunch. So again, thanks everybody from YouTube. I appreciate your watching the room. We do this every day at about 11 o'clock or so. So thanks for being here, and we'll